Now today we are looking at a very interesting question. See, we all know that if I take a steel bar or an iron bar and I take a magnet, a bar magnet, and I drag the north pole of the bar magnet over this iron or steel bar, then slowly and gradually, if I am doing this rubbing only in one direction, this my iron bar or the steel bar would become magnetized. So we all know that. So today we are trying to understand what the direction of magnetization would actually be. I mean, when we look at the spiral steel bar, where would its north pole and south pole lie? Okay, so as shown in the diagram, the north pole always lie at the start of my rubbing and the south pole lies at the end of the rubbing if I am rubbing with the north pole. Of course, the direction would change if I am doing the same thing with the south pole, okay. But for now, let us just focus on the rubbing only with the north pole, okay. And in that case, the north pole would lie where I start my rubbing, and south pole would lie where my end my rubbing. So in the larger diagram, we will again mark these two regions, okay. Now, the property of these ferromagnetic material, okay, so this thing would only happen with ferromagnetic materials, which means iron, nickel and cobalt. So only with materials which are made from these three elements, iron, nickel and cobalt, would we see this process. And why is that? Because they are ferromagnetic materials. The ferromagnetic materials are made up of individual magnetic dipoles, okay. They are small tiny little magnets which are embedded inside the ferromagnetic materials. Now these individual dipoles, they are fixed at their location, but they can rotate, okay. So think about it as little magnets. So this is the dipole, this is a little magnet which can rotate, but it is fixed, okay. So this is the dipole, and the ferromagnetic material is made up of thousands of such dipoles, okay. In the non-magnetized ferromagnetic material, these dipoles point in random direction, because of which their magnetic field is actually cancelled. So this region, look at the materials, the individual dipoles here, they are all randomly arranged, and because of which their magnetism actually cancels out. And that is why this originally, before the rubbing started, this material, the iron rod was, or the iron bar was actually non-magnetized. Now, when the rubbing happens, then what we are doing is that we are orienting these dipoles all in a nice same direction, and because of which the magnetism of these dipoles gets added, and in turn the entire rod or the entire material becomes magnetized. Now, why does the magnetization happen in the direction that it does? Now, things are very simple here. We can now that we have understood the dipole, what would happen? See, initially, like I said, these dipoles are randomly oriented, right? So this dipole was initially, let's say that it was like this. So this was north and this was south, okay. This was the dipole I am talking about. Now this dipole, as I said, can only turn about its axis. It is fixed. Every other way, it can only turn about its axis. Now what would happen when this magnet passes over this dipole? Think about it. There are two things which would happen. First is that because of friction, it would get energy. So this dipole can now jiggle around, it can move, okay. The second thing which would happen is that the south pole of this dipole would be attracted towards the north pole. So as the magnet drags over the dipole, it would rotate and slowly turn in this direction, so that the south pole can be with the north pole for as long as possible, as the north pole slowly and gradually as it moves over this iron rod. So in the end, what would happen is that all the south poles end up pointing towards the end of our rubbing, and all the north poles end up pointing towards the start of our rubbing, and that is why this magnet becomes the iron bar becomes magnetized the way it does as we rub with the magnet. So hopefully things are clear now. The reason why I am talking about all this is that if you understood this, then you have understood the ferromagnetic materials very nicely, and it would help you in solving many questions in your exam. Okay, thank you.